All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center. I invite you to stand up now. We're going to sing a song together. It's called Every Day's a Holy Day. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have Bill Brooks today, and we have Leslie Godden playing percussion today, so cool. Here we go. Every day's a holy day. Every day's a reason to celebrate. Every place is a holy place. Give thanks, give praise. Give thanks, give praise. Give thanks and praise. Thanks, give praise. Every day's a holy day, and we're rising up this holy day. We repeat that whole part. Every day's a holy day. Every day's a reason to celebrate. Every place is a holy place. Give thanks, give praise. Give thanks, give praise. Give thanks, give praise. Give thanks, give praise. Says every day is a holy day, and we're rising up this holy day. We rise every moment. We shine like the sun. We rise every moment. We have become, we become one. Every day's a holy day. Every day's a reason to celebrate. Every place is a holy place. Give thanks, give praise. Give thanks, give praise. Give thanks, give praise. Give thanks, give praise. 'Cause every day's a holy day, and we're rising up this holy day. Every day's a holy day, and we're rising up this holy day.
Good morning, Unity. There's more people over on this side than over here. Today's a holy day, wouldn't you agree? Hello, I'm Reverend Michael Small. I am the Associate Minister here at Unity Spiritual Center, and I want to welcome you between between Gordon and myself. I want to say welcome. So, anybody here for the very first time, please raise your hand. There's a few of you. Nice. Keep your hands up. If you haven't gotten a welcome packet, we want to make sure that you get a welcome packet today. And I want to welcome everybody on Facebook. Gordon was supposed to be on Facebook, and I was going to welcome him, but he's actually here with Novella, so I'm glad that you guys are all here. So we see your light, we see your dreams, and we see who you are. and we're glad that you're here. So, after the service, please join us for refreshments, snacks, and coffee in the back. You just go through those doors to the left and follow the hallway all the way down, and just follow the crowd. There'll be plenty of food and coffee and treats there for you. Okay, so the social media check-in today is we need each other. And then once you put that into your website, web page or browser, whatever you do, put your phone on silent. Just know that if something comes up during the service, you want to chat with your friends, we want to make that available for you as well. And if you want to follow along, my talk is actually on the web page, so you can actually find it there. And if you don't have that, please check with me or Gordon or maybe Glenda. I'm getting a little feedback here. Or even talk to the teenager. We can get you set up. All right, so I think we have some announcements today. I do want you to know that if I don't say anything that is happening this week, please check online, the USC website, the Facebook page, YouTube, or our weekly online newsletter, or you could just call the office. Glenda, Gordon, and I are more than happy to talk to you about what's actually happening. So, some announcements that I'm going to announce is this is the backpack season and school supplies for Mountain View. And as you see, we're actually getting quite a few backpacks. But we're doing this until August 2nd. And then there is Glenn Perry Workshop is happening August 16th from 1 to 3. And he will be doing the service that day as well. The YOU Ice Cream Social Fundraiser is happening also right after the service. So please, before you go to the workshop, grab some ice cream and help support the YOU. If you're new here, YOU is our Youth of Unity, and this actually helps them go to retreats or workshops that they are putting on. Tapping is happening today. Is that happening? Is that true? Yeah. Okay. All right. Today from 11:45 to 12:45. And the town hall meeting is also next Sunday at 11:30. So please come to the town hall meeting. All right. So I think that's it. Sue, come on up for our trustee of the day, and then we can get this service going. Thank you.
So that's my picture, but it says Susan Shelton. But I'm not Sue. I'm not Susan Shelton, but that's the advantage of we've got lots of Susans here in our congregation, so it's easy to get names mixed up. So Sue Eaton. And there's Sue Hauser, there's Susie Orchard, there's Suzanne. There's lots of us. So if you call out Sue, chances are a couple people will answer. So anyway, I wanted to tell you that we are making a change again in the service. A few months ago, we switched the timing of the offering to the end of the service. And it caused some glitches in the flow, and also we did that because we thought we would try it and see if there would be a change in the amount that people would give later in the service as opposed to the beginning. But that didn't happen, and that says to me that you're willing to give at whatever time we have the offering. So we're switching back, and it just reminds me of a quotation I heard that about trying new things, and it's if plan A, B, or C doesn't work, don't give up. You have 23 other plans with other letters of the alphabet. So if something's important to you, keep trying, and sometimes in the midst of something not working, you'll get an idea for something else that's maybe even better. So Anyway, let's go ahead and read together our mission, vision, and core values. Our mission statement: we inspire spiritual growth through honoring many paths, education, prayer, sacred service, and abundant living. Our vision: centered in love, we see a harmonious world of divine expression. Our core values: we are Christ-centered, loving, inclusive, joyous, uplifting, open-minded, and fun. And our unity credo: we believe all people are created with sacred worth. We serve all people in emotional and spiritual ways. We welcome the diversity of all. God and unity leave no one out. And now it's the time in our service where we have the opportunity to give our tithes and love offerings. And there are multiple ways that you can give. As I said, you can give today in person. We also have our Church Center app, which is very easy and convenient. And then you can give online through our website at www.uscabq.org/give, or by phone at text to give 877-856-7914. And there's also the thank you QR code if you want to use that. So, and let's do our offering blessing. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Oh.
Kiss away, it's just a kiss away, love sister. It's just a kiss away, it's just a kiss away. Let's give some love away, let's give some love away, let's give some love away. Hey, 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 let's get some love away, the love away, let's get some love away.
Thank you, Soul Shine and Bill. And we have Leslie Gooden joining the band today on drums and percussion. So let's say our prosperity dedication together, please. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all the needs and desires of Unity Spiritual Center and those we serve are bountifully met from every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected. Our abundant good is here now. Thank you, God.
Thank you, Sue. Hey, it's time for a congregational song, and we're going to do one about helping each other and relying on each other. So I invite you to stand up. We're going to do That's What Friends Are For. Now, we'll all sing on the choruses. Bill will sing the first verse. Ready? 1, 2, here we go.
I'd feel this way, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad I got the chance to say that I do believe I love you, and if I should ever go away, well then close your eyes and try to feel the way we do today, and then if you can remember.
Everybody sings this part. Here we go. Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for. In good times, in bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. You came and opened me, and now there's so much more I see. And so by the way, I thank you then for the times that we're apart. Well then close your eyes and know these words are coming from my heart, and that if you can remember, everybody sing. Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for. In good times, in bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Sing that again, here we go. Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for. In good times, in bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Thank you so much. Good job, by the way.
Good morning. I am Josie Godfrey, one of your 2 prayer chaplains today. We will be happy to pray with you if you feel that you need prayer. We'll be on either side of the sanctuary after the service to pray with you. There are also prayer request sheets in the backs of the chairs in front of you. If you have a request you don't want to talk with someone about, but you want us to pray about, feel free to fill out the request and leave it in the box back in the foyer. My other chaplain working with me today is Martine Bachman. Thank you.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, God's Spirit is in this very room.
The word of the day today is freedom. Or no, I'm sorry, tenderness. Yes, it does say freedom, but I have tenderness. So we will do tenderness. Okay. I'm reading one thing and okay. In tenderness, I embody my divinity. The power of love is a potential force set in motion by my thinking and feeling nature. I use it to be loving. Love is the power I use to bind myself with all people. As a people, we use it to remind ourselves that we are all members of one family. No matter who is sharing it, it is infused with tenderness. It encourages me when I doubt myself, accepts me when the world feels cold, celebrates my successes, and helps me shine. I pray those who have loved me so tenderly and fiercely know the underlying power of love as they have shared it so generously. In tenderness, I embody my divinity.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, God's Spirit is in this very room.
All right, Bill has a great song for us called People. People.
People who need people, luckiest people in the world. We're children needing other children, and yet letting our grown-up pride hide all the thing need inside, acting more like children than children. Lovers are very special people. They're the luckiest people in the world. With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you were half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you were half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world.
Thank you, Bill. That was beautiful. Bill Brooks.
And thank you, Leslie and Todd and Jeff. One more hand, please. All right. Wow. What he asked me this morning, I sent you an email about these songs. Were they okay? And I said, well, I trust you. And I trust Todd too. So anyway, before we get started, I just wanted to let you know I had some good news 2 days ago about my book. And my book will be released on December 8th, just in time for Christmas. So put it on your calendars. It's Ancient Wisdom for Modern Healing, and so I'm really excited about that. So anyway, some more stuff to come. In school, what we're taught is always use the scripture first and then get into the lesson, so that's what I'm actually going to do. And the lesson actually comes from Matthew 4:18 through 22. And this is from the web version. See, walking by the Sea of Galilee, Jesus saw two brothers, Simon, and called to Peter and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea. For they were fishermen. And he said, come and follow me, and I will make you fishers for men. They immediately left their nets and followed him. Going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, the brother, in the boat with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets. And he called them, and they immediately left the boat. And their father left the boat and the father and followed Jesus. So, over the last few weeks, if you haven't been joining us, we've been building up to this part. We were kind of graced with Reverend Mindy Tucker, and she named something most of us have carried most of our lives without even quite saying it out loud. It was the myth of separation, the lie that we were ever truly cut off from one another, from God, from the ground that we grew up from. She left us with this image of the aspens up in the mountains. It's my favorite story, and I never really knew about the aspen until I moved here. I mean, I knew about the aspen, I just didn't know the story of the aspen. They look kind of separated by themselves, individual, separate trees, and underneath that ground, there's one root system feeding each other in the dark. Then last week, Gordon took that image and turned it into an invitation. He talked about a doorway that I was supposed to help walk you through today. Big responsibility. And what it means to walk over through the threshold when life changes underneath us. And he left us with a question. So what happens when we walk through that doorway? This morning, I want to answer that question because I believe that's just not just one thing that's happening to us on the other side. I believe there are three things that happen when we actually walk through that door. The first one, go ahead, is wholeness and healing. The second one is love. And the third one is community. That's the journey I want to walk with you today with. And I want to tell you this, why I'm going to change wholeness, love, and community. Not there yet, but that's okay. I want to tell you that love is going to be coming last. I saved love for last because it isn't an accident in order. If I talked about love first, it would sound like platitude. Love always does when it comes too early. It's the thing that we say when we haven't done the work yet of showing why it's true. So we have to walk through the door first to actually experience wholeness and community. We have to feel the cost of standing apart before we can hear what it costs and what it gives when we come together. Because here's what independents never tell us. Needing someone isn't weakness. It only feels that way when we're not aware of love in the room yet. So let's walk through this door together. In order, wholeness, then community, and then love. And see what's waiting for us on the other side. The first door is wholeness and healing. I have not been able to stop thinking about that imagery that Mindy gave us about the aspen. And if you drive up the mountains in New Mexico or even in Colorado, you see it. Whether it's in the fall, that gold moving across the whole hillside of aspen, or even in the summer when it transforms into vibration, sunlit alpine paradise. From a distance, it looks like a forest of thousands of individual trees, each one doing its own thing, each one holding its own ground. I don't know about you, like I said, but when I moved here, I learned that the aspen is actually the first tree that grows after a fire. Long before the pines or the ponderosa, way before a lot of other life happens, the aspen is there. That says everything that we've been trying to say in this whole series. Independence is what we see above the ground. Interdependence is what is true beneath it. And a real courage is remembering that at the root, everything in our culture keeps pointing at the trunk. I'm not pointing at you, I promise. We live in a culture that rewards the trunk and forgets the roots. Self-made, self-sufficient independence. We say those words like they're the finish line of maturity. Like the person who needs nobody has arrived somewhere the rest of us are still trying to get to. But most of our spiritual traditions, when you go back and look at them, tell a very different story. They tell a story of people who need each other, who needed God, who needed community, just like Bill just was singing about, and who were not diminished by that need. They were completed by it. I think that's exactly the trap my mother's generation was handed. And maybe some of you were handed too. Somewhere along the way, we learned that needing someone was proof of your failure. Proof we couldn't handle our own life, our own grief. So we hide it. We say, I'm fine when we're not. I'm okay. Don't worry about me. Everything's going to be all right. And we wait until the crisis is undeniable before we let anyone close enough to help us. But that's not strength. That's just a very lonely kind of fear wearing strength clothing. For our co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore taught something remarkably similar, though she was speaking about the body rather than the forest. In her letters, she would guide people to speak directly to each of their cells, addressing each one as it carried some sort of intelligence. Our science is telling us that now, that each cell has its own intelligence. It can hear us. When we speak like, I'm too fat, I'm not good enough, I'm not brave enough, these cells remember. And they respond as such. She wrote of a love that draws them together, holds every element of our being in harmony with one another when we allow it. Not one cell in your body was ever meant to function alone. Each one carries its own particular work, and yet none of them get to opt out of the whole. Health for Myrtle Fillmore was never calling a cell an overachiever, independent from the rest of the body. It was every cell remembering it belonged to something larger than itself. That's exactly what this first door is about. Not wholeness as private achievement, but wholeness as remembering we were never actually separate to begin with. Healing at its root is just that. Many intelligent, particular parts of one living body, remembering it belongs, that it's whole. The second door is community. There's an old teaching that comes out of the rabbinic tradition of Jesus' time. Jewish boys who wanted to be a disciple of a rabbi would be tested, quizzed on scripture and interpretation, on whether they could think the way the teacher taught. I thought that was really interesting when I was reading this, because what the rabbi would do, he would ask them a question, and the student didn't answer the question with an answer. He would actually answer it with another question and go deeper. And then the rabbi would actually do the same thing. He would answer, but go deeper with a different question. I thought that was interesting. If a rabbi believed a boy had what it took, he would say, "Come, take my yoke upon you." And the boy would leave home, family, and everything familiar to him to follow that teacher everywhere. Literally everywhere, step by step, town to town. And because they walked so close together for so many miles behind a teacher who was always in motion, they would end each day covered head to sandal in the dust of the rabbi's feet. There's a blessing there that comes out of that tradition. It says, "May you be covered in the dust of your rabbi." It became something a disciple wanted, not distance, not admiration from a safe place, but a dust, proximity, closeness, so complete, it left a visible mark on you. Then you have to go take a shower, of course. In the traditional reading, that closeness is about coming together, becoming a copy of your teacher, absorbing his interpretation, his yoke, his way of living, the law. There's something valuable in that. But I want to offer a more metaphysical read, a unity read. I believe we walk close to a teacher, a mentor, a real community, so that we can become part, or not a copy of someone else. I believe we walk close to that, in that proximity to someone living from their Christ nature. And it has a way of stirring awake that Christ nature inside of you that is asleep. The dust doesn't put something into you. It activates what was already yours. That's the difference between the ego kind of need and the soul kind of need. The ego needs people because it believes it is lacking in something, incomplete, not enough, dependent on someone else to fill a hole. The soul needs people because closeness is how what is already whole is remembered in us. Does that make sense? One is scarcity, the other is activation. And notice who Jesus calls to walk close enough to gather that dust. And remember, we don't know how old the disciples were when Jesus called them. There's a thought that they were in their late teens and early 20s. But Jesus called to, and we notice who Jesus called to walk close enough to gather the dust. Not the polished ones, not the ones the rabbi had already approved of. He walked the beach and found Peter and Andrew, James and John, boys who, by every account, had already been told somewhere along the way that they were not quite good enough to be chosen. And he said, "Come and follow me." They left their nets, they left their family trade, and they left Zebedee standing in the boat. That's the courage this whole series has been circling. Not the courage to achieve independence, the courage to walk close enough to someone or to some community that you risk being covered in their dust, risk being changed by the nearness that you cannot fully control. We tend to picture Moses as a singular hero, alone before Pharaoh, alone at the burning bush, alone on the mountaintop with God. But go back and read Exodus closely, and you'll find a man who was never actually meant to carry this alone. When Moses stood at the burning bush, his first response to God wasn't confidence. It was, "I can't do this. I need you to send somebody else. Why me?" And God didn't override that. But God paired him with his brother Aaron to be his voice. From the very beginning of the call, need was built into it, into this calling, not around it, not despite of it, but in it. Later in Exodus 17, during the battle with Albuquerque, Moses climbed a hill to hold his staff over the battlefield. As long as his arm was up, Israel prevailed. But arms get tired, especially if you're doing that all day. So Aaron and Hur, his brother and a trusted elder, stood on either side of Moses, holding his arms up until sunset. Moses, the one hearing God directly, still needed human hands under his own. And then there was Jethro, his father-in-law, watching Moses try to judge every dispute for the entire nation by himself, and telling him plainly, "What you're doing is not good. You will surely wear yourself out, and those people too." Jethro doesn't hand Moses a strategy so he could go back to do this alone. He handed him a structure of shared leadership with other trustworthy people to share the weight. Wisdom in Moses' story doesn't look like carrying more. It looks like admitting what was one set of arms, was never built to hold alone. And then there's Gethsemane, the most human moment in the four Gospels. Jesus on the last night before his arrest, in the agony of knowing what was coming, does not perform self-sufficiency. He says to Peter, James, and John plainly, "Stay here and keep watch with me." Not go and pray on your own. "I got this. Don't worry about me. I've got it." But out loud directly, he asks for companionship. in his own suffering. And then famously, the disciples fell asleep. The very ones who had walked close enough to be covered in his dust cannot stay awake long enough to sit with him in this hardest hour. And here's what moved me most about this story. Jesus says in relationship with them, he stays in relationship with them. He doesn't walk away from Peter after this. He doesn't strike James and John from the story. Even after being let down in the exact moment he most needed the presence, he continued to build his church on people who are like us, wonderfully unreliable sometimes. That to me is the fullest picture of the courage we need each other. Not the courage to ask, but the courage to keep needing people even after they failed you. Community was never going to be made out of the people who never let each other down. It was only ever going to be made out of people willing to stay in relationship anyway. I want to be honest with you about something, because I think it belongs here. Part of my work, and maybe part of your work, is to hold space for others, for other people. Listening, showing up, being the steady one. And it's easy when that is your role to quietly start believing that you are the root system for everybody. And that no one needs to be that for you. But that's not what the aspens teach us. Every trunk, including the ones that look taller and steadier from a distance, is fed by the same root system. Even ministers need ministering too. Even the ones who hold space still need someone to hold space for them. That's not a flaw in the calling. That's the calling understood rightly. It's not enough to say that we need each other and leave it there. Needing each other means something has to be built, a place, a practice, a rhythm, where the need actually has somewhere to land. In my own book, I write about shaman Derek Verrett, who teaches something I want to share with you. Verrett understood that we are, at our core, mostly energy. And that energy doesn't stay contained in the boundary of one person's skin. It enters and intertwines with each other. Our unresolved pain, our suppressed emotion, doesn't just sit quietly inside us. It ripples outward and through. It touches the field we all share, which means healing was never a solo project. We cannot fully heal, fully move on, while we're ignoring the collective we've woven into, because our energy and the world's energy are not actually separate systems. This is important, especially now, because we need each other more than ever before. Barrett puts it simply: we cannot move forward until we all move forward. No one gets left behind, not because that's a nice sentiment, but because energetically we are far more connected than our individualism wants to admit. That's why he emphasized taking responsibility for releasing our own trauma and emotional weight, not so we can finally be independent of anyone else, but so we can stop unconsciously handing our unprocessed pain into a field that we all share. And instead of holding our loved ones in worry, which is really just fear, projecting more fear into that same shared space, he teaches blessings instead. Holding space for someone's spirit to shift and heal rather than hold them in anxious grip. This is the same truth the aspen's showing us at the first door. A root system doesn't just connect trees, it feeds them. It sends resources to the trunk that's damaged. After a wildfire clears the surface, new trunks arise from that very same root system. Connection isn't passive. It's active work happening in the dark all the time, exactly what Barrett is describing in human terms. That's what community is supposed to be. Not a room where people happen to need each other, but people where who've desperately made space for each other's griefs, each other's loss, and each other's burnouts. A place where you don't wait until we've healed to show up, and where blessing someone matters more than worrying over them. The third door is love. Eric Butterworth, another giant of our movement, once gave an entire Sunday talk on relationships that speak directly to this moment. He said something that has stayed with me ever since I came across it. In a healthy relationship, two people keep growing fully as separate individuals, separate selves, while also transcending that separateness into a deeper unity. It's not one person absorbing the other, nor two people remaining independent, that the other one truly doesn't really connect. It's both at once, fully themselves and fully joined, so that each person's growth nurtures each other. It nourishes the relationship. That's the interdependence this whole series has been pointing towards. Not a merging that erases you, not an independence that isolates you, a synergy that is becoming more fully you, helps me become more fully me. Can we say that together? A synergy, you become more, fully helps me, helps fully you. Does that make sense? So the synergy actually helps you, helps me. We help each other this way. And neither one of us was ever built to grow alone. We can't do this alone. We need each other. We started this series with Reverend Mindy's myth of separation, the idea that we are ever truly apart from one another, from spirit, from life itself, was never true to begin with. It was always a story we told ourselves. And Gordon gave us the image that carries us since that, the doorway. Not a wall, not an ending, a threshold, a place where one room gives way to another if we're willing to walk through it. So, we're walking through the doors this morning together. This first door was healing and wholeness. The second door was community. And now we stand at the third, which is love. We don't reach for each other because independence failed us. We reach each other because love has always pointed the way. That's the myth of separation. Just brought us time before we were ready to admit it. So the invitation. Now you can go with the last slide. Independence rise. Can I do this? Or independence asks me, can I do this alone? Do I need anybody? Interdependence and the courage underneath it asks something braver. Who am I willing to see me need them? Maybe it's picking up the phone and telling someone the truth about how you're actually doing instead of the version that keeps you looking fine. Maybe it's staying in a small group even after it disappointed you once, twice, or even 3 times. Like Jesus did, the way Jesus did, with Peter, Paul, and John, and James. Maybe it's simply letting yourself be grateful out loud for the people whose dust you've been walking in, the teachers, the friends, the family who have shaped you more than you've ever told them. And if you came in through the door Gordon described last week, if you're in a season of walking away from what was, I want you to know what's waiting for you on the other door, on the other side. If you'll let yourself walk through that door, you will find community, you will find love, and you will find healing. In closing, no, go ahead, keep it. Go back. We are not separate trunks competing for sunlight. We're one living root system wearing many different shapes, needing each other in order to remember what was already underneath. If Derek Barrett is right, if we are all that connected, then none of us gets to move forward. We get to rise, and we rise together. This is Gordon's talk next week, so I hope you come back for that. So let's take a couple minutes and take a breath, and let's go within. Take a breath and let it go. Take another breath, breathe into that space, and hold it for a little bit and let it go. Let yourself get comfortable as you relax into that chair. You can put your hand on your heart if you want. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything right now. Let your shoulders soften, your jaw soften. There's nothing you have to figure out, nothing to solve. Just breathe into the next breath. Let's just sit with that question, what is community? Why is community here for you? To me, community is a place where healing can happen. It is a door that we walk through to find others on the other side for healing and our growth, our wholeness. To remember that we are whole together and even by ourselves, all at once. And here's the good news, that we don't have to be ready for it. It's already here. And maybe that's exactly what Spirit is calling us to do in this moment. Not to prepare ourselves to be worthy, especially worthy of community, but to simply walk through. To remember that you are whole. Because you're more than just a spark, you're the flame. And you're also not just a drop in the ocean, but we are the ocean and the drop. And I think we forget that. And that is already yours, waiting for you. So wherever you are at this moment, we say thank you, God, for this community, this place where we can grow together. It's already here. So let's take a moment and we go inside. Let's go with Spirit. And we'll take a moment and let's do so now. Let's take another deep breath in and let it out. I want to say thank you for allowing us to need each other. Thank you for a place where we can come to find community and healing. Healing starts here and spreads out from this place to other areas in our life. Thank you for this church, this center, and these people that are here. And as we gently come back to the room, go ahead and wiggle your toes. Feel your feet on the floor. Notice the sounds around you. There's no rush. Just come back slowly. When I walked through these doors 6 years ago, I couldn't walk through that one because service already started. And I know that you've heard the story. We were singing that song, you guys were singing that song that we sing just before we go into meditation. And I knew I was in the right place. But we walked around and I walked in here, and that was about 6 years ago, and I can't believe 6 years where it's gone. But November 2021, I came here. The truth is, I was looking for something different. And like you, I crossed that threshold. I know it's scary sometimes, but you know what? I found community here. I found healing and I found wholeness, and that's what I needed at the time. Isn't that what we're all looking for? A church should be a place of healing and growth, not a place of judgment, a place of condemnation, somewhere someone doesn't tell you that you're not good enough. A place where healing and growth actually happens. And in that time, I found love that I was looking for through all of you. Not all at once, but over the course of the years. What I hope is that what you're taking with you today is the myth of separation is a lie. And that we've been telling ourselves for years. We're not separate. And that's the whole message. So, if you're new here, I hope that this is what you're looking for. And if that this week comes up and you're struggling, if you're carrying something heavy, and if you're suffering, and if you're dealing with a lot, remember, there's a community here that will support and love you. Before we go, may the blessing rest upon you. May you know beneath everything that you are never meant to carry this alone. May you have the courage to need the people beside you and grace to let them need you back. May you walk close enough to everyone this week to be covered in their dust. And may the closeness remind you of who you already are. May you be covered head to toe by this community, the way you've been held here today. And in all their ways that matter, may you know that you're held right now by the love and a life far larger than yourself. And so it is. Amen.
Bill has a song by Carole King and Rob Hyman and Rich Whalen. She wrote it just not quite a bit after her career, but it's a really nice song.
Why do we isolate each other? All the walls we build between us make it so hard to be together. And how can we tear at one another when the thing we have in common is an uncommon love? Walls can fall, tears can mend, so why can't we reach across the line and love each other here on two sides of the truth? We've a middle ground in common. We have an uncommon love. time can heal, hearts can mend. So why can't we reach across the line and love each other? When will we ever learn that the thing we have in common is an uncommon love? We have an uncommon love, an uncommon
Bill Brooks.